All right, rate check Monday. Um, so interest rates about the same range. So best case scenario, better. This is a terrible live so far. Glad nobody's watching. Best case rates for this year, we got really close to 6%. We've been steadily above 6.5 for most of the year. The last several weeks, we've moved up into the high sixes. We've come back down a little bit. So maybe best case you're at 6.625 or 6.75. You can see the different resources can give different average rates. Obviously, depends on if it's with one discount point origination fee about the same thing. So it depends on how you're quoted, what your loan amount is, credit score. So all those things factor in. So, but just give you an idea, rates are pretty steady, pretty flat. Not much improvement at the higher end of where they've been in the last 12 months, but don't seem to be breaking out really high like we kind of feared a few weeks ago. So, uh, what rates do last week? We actually got CPI and PPI last week, and those actually showed inflation in check. Weaker job reports gave markets hope that the Fed would pause on hikes. I said pause, but there was a lot of thought that the Fed would raise rates this year. And now people are um, not believing that they will raise rates at all. So they haven't raised rates. There was a lot of thought that people they would raise rates, but now the thought is that they won't. Um, let's see. What to watch this week? Not a lot of news. It's going to be a quiet week. The Federal Reserve minutes come out this week. So, the Federal Reserve meets once a month, but then the minutes from their meeting is released the next month. So the actual meeting is private. You don't really know what they talk about in their meeting. The the federal president comes out and talks about it. The Federal Reserve president kind of talks about what they talk about, but this is actually the minutes. So we'll know who dissented and who wants the rate hikes, et cetera. You still got the U.S.-Iran war, which there was a 60-day window for negotiation that ends this week. So any bad news is going to cause rates to go up. You follow the pattern. It feels like on Fridays we've seen rates, seen the war conversation escalate, and then Sunday night when the market's about to open back up, seem like there's peace talks again. So feels highly manipulated based on how the politicians want the market to react. So take that for what it's worth. What's going on in real estate? Existing home sales have eased, so they're not as high year over year. Inventory is good. It's getting a little bit better. Still not to the healthy point. So actually, we're still low on inventory. But I don't know that that's a big problem because I don't think there are as many buyers out there right now. So I don't, your natural desire for what the month supply, I think it's a 9 month supply is healthy. We're about almost a 5 month supply. Um, I don't think there's enough buyers out there to make that number skewed at all. So, according to the numbers, affordability has improved compared to last year. Affordability is calculated based on sales price and interest rates. Sure doesn't feel like that here in Georgia because rates are a little bit higher than they were a year ago, and the price of houses have not come down. So the good news is it feels like a buyer's market. Buyers have room to negotiate. They can't ask for the world, but they can definitely get some closing costs, get some repairs, that sort of thing. So I think it's more of a healthy market leaning towards the buyers. So, um, what to expect this next week? The market is balancing out. I believe it's not booming, it's not crashing. If you're waiting on a 5% interest rate, don't hold your breath. Buy when you are ready to buy, when it's time to buy. Um, and it just depends on the war talk. I think it's gonna be hit or miss. So you kind of just got to be ready and hopefully hit the down cycle on rates. And it's a quarter swing. You might be at 6.5 one day and 6.8, a week later, and you just hope to catch it on the downswing. So that's all I got this week. Let me know if you have any questions. I am happy to help. feel free to message me and I can get you a rate quote put together on a refi or a purchase or just kind of give you a scenario or an idea. So y'all have a great week. I don't know if it's recording or not. I don't know how to stop it. Boy, this is an ugly growing.